We're back with our second quarterback breakdown for the 2024 NFL Draft, and today we're looking at Drake Maye, quarterback from North Carolina. Drake Maye is a difficult evaluation for me. Coming into this year, there was some optimism that he was going to be able to close the gap between himself and Caleb Williams to get into that conversation for quarterback one. Unfortunately, after a down season, he's actually going to end up closer to quarterback three, Jayden Daniels, for me, than quarterback one, Caleb Williams. But with that being said, he's still my quarterback two in the class, so let's get into this deep dive on Drake Maye. Drake Maye is also just a junior from North Carolina and has the prototypical build of a franchise quarterback at 6'4", 223 pounds. He's also just 21 years old and has some incredible potential. His arm talent is what really jumped off the tape for me, but also his inconsistent accuracy and bonehead turnover-worthy plays were also something that stuck out as a glaring red flag to me watching the All-22. But with that being said, let's get into the production. I'll throw his numbers on the screen, and as you can see, it was a down year statistically for Maye, as well as an evaluation process. The only thing I'll mention about that, though, is that Drake Maye did lose his weapons from last year, with his only new weapon, Tez Walker, missing most of the season due to some disputes with the NCAA about eligibility. So while the production did take a step back, there is some context to explain why some of that might be the case. So now that we have the baseline knowledge of Drake Maye and the baseline information on the North Carolina season, let's get into the film to help us understand who Drake Maye is and what he's going to bring to the NFL game. The first trait that we're going to talk about is Drake Maye's arm talent. He's got plenty of it. For this, we're going to be looking at his arm strength to vertically push the ball downfield, his arm power to generate velocity on throws, as well as his arm angles that he's able to throw from to change the release point and fit balls around defenders. On these first couple plays, we're going to be looking at his arm strength. The first throw, we're going to see Maye release his ball from his own 20-yard line, and he's going to get this ball to the opposite 23-yard line with an easy flick of the wrist, pushing this ball 57 yards downfield, hitting his receiver in stride for the explosive play. Now, on the next play, Maye lets this one fly from his own 34-yard line and pushes this one outside the numbers to the near sideline where the ball lands in the receiver's hands at about the 12-yard line, making this roughly a 54-yard throw, again putting this ball on the receiver on the sideline for another explosive gain. Now, on this next play, we're going to see Maye is going to push this ball downfield again, but watch his base that he throws from, or I guess better way to say it is lack thereof, as the base that he's going to throw from is off of that back foot, falling back, but he's still able to push this ball 40 yards downfield and hit his receiver in stride for the explosive touchdown against Clemson. Now, taking a look at these next couple plays, you're going to be looking at Maye's ability to generate power on drive throws. Both of these throws are from the far hash to the sideline with excellent velocity, and Maye has the ability to push this ball on a line outside the hashes or when throwing over the middle of the field to test closing or tight windows. Now, the last part of his arm talent that I want to talk about is his ability to change his arm angle to manipulate the release point and deliver balls around defenders, but also his ability to deliver on throws when he's being contacted. He is one of, if not the best passer in this class when throwing through contact, and this is in large part due to his size for the position. His ability to throw through contact is Big Ben-esque, and he's able to use it to be a playmaker at the college level, and this should really continue moving into the NFL. The next trait that I want to talk about with Maye is actually a bit of a mixed bag, and that's his accuracy and ball placement. There are times that Maye has outstanding accuracy and ball placement, even on the advanced throws like layer throws, back shoulder throws, or when leveraging throws in the end zone. But his overall accuracy consistency is way too up and down for me right now, so let me show you what I'm talking about. We're going to start by looking at the good. On this first play, we're going to be looking at this back shoulder throw on the near sideline. Maye gets the ball out early and with great ball placement on the receiver's backside shoulder, allowing him to throttle down, come back to the ball, securing the catch, and getting both feet in bounds. Now, the next one is similar, but this shows his accuracy to the sideline when operating outside of structure. In the scramble drill, this is one of the easiest ways for receivers to get themselves open for their quarterback, and we're going to see this receiver do it on this play. He's going to work vertically up the sideline, then snap it off and retrace his steps down the sideline. This gives the defender on his back, allowing a throwing window for the quarterback to get the ball out. Maye recognizes this and gets the ball out to the sideline and places this ball beautifully high just outside the boundary where only his receiver is able to get his hands on it. Look at that placement. That is a thing of beauty. This receiver brings it in, and this is a big first down for the North Carolina offense. Now I want to get into some of his accuracy to the deeper portions of the field. On this play, off the snap, Maye realizes that the center field safety is going to navigate to the middle of the field. Now he knows that he has a true one-on-one matchup on the outside with no safety help, and that safety is not going to be able to recover in enough time to react and get to the sideline to influence his catch. He glances the receiver and sees that he's open, so Maye is going to start his throwing motion here. But he knows he has to get this ball up and down in a hurry so the safety can't get to the sideline and break up the pass. Maye puts it out there, but he doesn't put too much air under it, allowing that safety to get back involved at the catch point. As we see, this is an outstanding, accurate ball right to the outstretched arms of the receiver. Now, we're going to watch this play one more time from the end zone angle. This angle tells us everything that we need to know because we can see where his eyes are. Watch how he's going to glance at safety, see he's navigating to the center of the field. Then his eyes are going to go back to that sideline, and he's going to get this ball out and hit the receiver in stride. Great throw, great catch. Now looking at this next play, this is another deep ball, but this time we're going to be targeting the slot fade versus man coverage, where the slot corner is actually going to be playing inside shade, giving outside leverage to our receiver, which is the perfect storm for Maye and the offense. Maye diagnoses this early, allowing him to get the ball out early, and puts this ball out with plenty of arc and comes down with an excellent drop angle. What's also encouraging about this is that he realized that versus man, he can push this ball towards the sideline and allow his receiver to use all this green grass to track it over his shoulder. This was an excellent throw with great recognition. Unfortunately for Maye, his receiver isn't able to bring this one in and actually almost gifts the ball to the corner here, causing an interception. But none of that's really on Maye. This ball hits the receiver in his hands. Nice play by Drake Maye, and this ball should have been caught for an explosive gain. Taking a look at these next two plays, these are the best examples of Drake Maye's accuracy that I could find. On this first play, he's going to navigate the pocket, find a throwing window after his offensive lineman gets taken for an absolute ride. And while we're moving to the left, he's going to locate his receiver in the end zone, and he's able to flip his hips, make this throw from a makeshift type platform and a modified arm angle. But yet this ball is going to end up being placed perfectly on this receiver. This was a very catchable ball, and Maye really made something out of nothing here. Phenomenal play. Unfortunately, the receiver isn't able to bring this one in either. Taking a look at this next play, this one is extremely impressive. We're going to be targeting the inside fade to the wide side of the field against this corner playing inside shade again. This is once again going to give that receiver the outside release. Maye is going to go one step drop, hitch, get this ball out to the back corner of the end zone with pinpoint accuracy. Watching this from the end zone angle, watch where this ball ends up. He couldn't have walked this ball into the end zone and handed it to this receiver in a better location. Outstanding awareness, leverage identification, and ball location by Drake Maye here for the touchdown. Now, with all that being said, like I said, there's a fair share of misses on tape as well, so let's get into those now. On this first play, we have the seam route by the tight end versus a cover 3 look, which is a perfect cover 3 beater. Maye is able to read it out, get to the seam, and gets the ball out, but the accuracy is just not where it needs to be, and the receiver's not able to reel this one in. And the misses have been throughout his tape as well, but where I saw a lot of them was in his final college game against NC State, where he was missing on that seam. He also threw balls in the dirt. He sailed balls over receivers' heads on in-breaking routes. He was off target on deep balls. Some of the inaccuracies have come from some footwork issues, and some of them have just come from an elongated release, but some have also come from loose mechanics. If he could tighten up his mechanics and release, I think we would see an immediate improvement in his overall accuracy consistency. But with that being said, though, there's still some misses that are just kind of unexplainable that I can't really attribute to his, elongated release or his footwork or whatever. It's just misses. His accuracy consistency is something he's going to want to figure out early in his NFL career. And like I said, if he can just get more consistent footwork and tighten up those mechanics and his release, I think we will see an immediate impact in a positive way towards his accuracy consistency. And I think we would see some significant strides early in his career if he was able to do that. Now, moving on to Drake Maye's next trait that we're going to take a look at is going to be his mental processing and decision making. Taking a look at this first play, this is a very NFL style concept called dagger, which is designed to beat cover 2 variations. Dagger uses a vertical clear out route, typically a go route, to occupy the safeties and open the middle of the field for the deep dig coming in behind it. On this play, we see that we're set up for success as the defense is running Tampa 2, where we have 2 deep safeties which typically leave the middle of the field open, but they're also going to drop this middle linebacker into the middle area of the field to take it away. As we let this play out, we see the vertical seam route is going to occupy that backer and the play side safety, opening up the middle of the field for this deep dig as it should. Maye reads this out, gets the ball out, and hits the receiver in stride to maximize the yards after the catch. Excellent execution on a frequently run NFL-style concept. Now, on this next play, we're going to be watching the seam route by the slot receiver. The defense is going to initially show a cover 4 or quarters look, but post-snap, it's actually going to rotate into a cover 3 coverage. Seams and flats actually beat cover 3s, so this means that our seam route should be open, and if Maye's able to identify the post-snap rotation, he should know that that seam route is going to be open. Well, when we let this play out, we see that the seam route is open, Maye sees it, and delivers the ball right where the hashes meet the end zone at the goal line with excellent accuracy, splitting the deep third defenders, excellent post-snap recognition by Maye, and great understanding of knowing where his cover 3 beater is. Also, great location on this throw, split the deep third defenders perfectly for the touchdown. Now on the next play, I want to highlight his ability to identify matchups out of bunch formations. On this next play, we're going to have a bunch set to the field where we have a corner, a drag, and a delay release option route. The match responsibilities on this play fall on the defenders boxed in red, and how they match will tell Maye where he needs to go with this ball. Right here, we see the inside corner is running with the corner, which gives the corner route natural outside leverage, multiple steps of separation, and all of this green grass to work with. Maye sees this matchup responsibility and puts the ball out into space for this corner route to track the ball, secure the catch, and turn upfield. Excellent job by Maye to see how these defenders matched after identifying the matchup, knowing where the receivers have the most advantage and attacking it. Great processing here on this one. Now on this next play, he's going to be faced with 4th and intermediate, and Duke is going to drop 9 and only bring a 2-man pressure. On the snap, we're going to glance to the left to see that we have 4 defenders to our 4 receivers, and we're going to immediately come off that and go to the backside. Coming backside, we see the cushion that the defensive back is going to give our outside receiver, and Maye is going to have a quick trigger and get this one out, but also it's 4th down. So it's 1st down or bust for them right now. So watch his receiver and watch how Maye is going to throw this ball and where he's going to put it. He throws this ball at the sticks, leading his receiver upfield to give him the possibility to make this catch and secure the 1st down. Now, I do forget if they actually got the 1st down on this play, so if they did or someone remembers this from this game, drop it in the comments for me. I'm sure one of you Tar Heel fans out there have a memory like that. I don't, unfortunately, so please let me know in the comments. But now, moving on to the next play, the next one we have a smash concept with the slot fade and a hitch on the outside, both faced with man coverage. Now on this one, the slot at the stem of his route is going to give a hard sell inside to sell the post, but then he's going to come back outside to the fade and stack the corner. Maye sees his receiver was able to stack the corner and puts his ball up in the air with plenty of air under it, allowing the receiver to locate the ball downfield, track the ball over his inside shoulder, and score an easy touchdown. Watching it from the end zone angle, what's so great about this process is how he's able to read this in this RPO concept while keeping his eyes downfield and not having to lower his eyes to feel this defensive lineman. Once he reads the defensive lineman go for the running back, he pulls the ball, shuffles to the right, one hitch, and gets this ball out. Now, on the next throw, we get to see his processing for ball location in the scramble drill. On this play, Maye is going to be forced to escape the pocket and bail to his left. When doing so, he's able to see that the receiver turned this stop route into almost a double move, and he's going to get vertical down the near sideline. Maye's able to see this defender is trying to recover, and he's going to turn his back to Maye. Now, I know in college they don't have the player's last name on the back of the jerseys, but in the NFL, a good rule of thumb is that if you can read a defensive player's entire last name, start to finish, then they're not able to defend against a pass. When a defensive back tries to recover like this, they're not able to guard anything outside of their frame because they can't get their head around, locate the ball, and make the pass deflection fast enough. Now, as we let this play out, we see that Maye lets this ball fly with the defender's back to him, allowing him to safely put this ball anywhere outside of the defensive back's frame without creating a turnover-worthy play. As we let this play continue, we see that this ball location was perfect, just above the defender's outstretched arms and right at the receiver's face mask, allowing for a very difficult looking play to actually be rather easy. The last play that I have shows Maye's ability to read the full field and get to his backside digs. He reads left to right across the formation and gets to that backside dig on time and in rhythm of the offense and keeps the ball moving downfield. Now, with all the good things that I've spoken of, I want to get into the imperfections as well. Drake Maye is not a perfect decision maker, and he's not a perfect processor, and he still has some areas of mental growth that needs to take place for him to reach his full potential, and it's a full spectrum for him in terms of areas of growth. He'll miss open receivers, he will come off of first reads too soon, leaving yards on the field, but he'll also do the exact opposite and stay locked onto his first read too long for missed opportunities and again leaving yards on the field. This is something that's going to have to get coached up in the NFL, and I really think by the end of his rookie season, this area of his game will have seen some significant improvement, but it is something that in his college tape I was able to see, and it's something that his next team is going to want to be cognizant of and understand about him so that they can work with him on it. This kind of brings me to my next point, and that's that he has a habit of making bad plays worse. There are times that he'll force balls and try to do too much, resulting in some real boneheaded turnovers. There are times where he'll force the ball downfield into coverage or throw balls with angles that allow defensive backs to undercut routes for turnovers, but there's also times that he will make throws missing other defenders in the area, allowing those off defenders to peel off their responsibility and make a play on the ball. So is he perfect? No, by no means is he perfect, but even though I'm bringing up concerns, don't forget about the good that we just went through earlier, because like I said, it's a bit of a mixed bag. But the good shows what he's capable of, and I would rather focus on the good and what he can be than the errors and what he cannot be. Make no mistake about it, once drafted, the coaching staff he has is going to work with him to make those good moments more consistent, and I'm confident in that. But it'll take a year or two, and the team drafting him has to know this. Now, the next area of his game that I want to look at is Drake Maye's pocket movements, and this is going to include his ball security. This is an area that I think Maye took one of his biggest strides from 2022 to 2023, so let's take a look at what I'm talking about. This first play, Maye is an empty, so no running back. He sees South Carolina is showing a six-man pressure and man on the outside, so it covers zero look. Maye gets the offensive line into a full slide to the left, which means that all the offensive linemen are going to be responsible for the gap to their left, leaving the edge to Maye's right unblocked. Maye knows this, and at the snap, he's going to immediately start to drift to the left and to create that space to maximize how much time he has to get this ball off. He then sees this left tackle get beat, and he knows that he's in a bad place, so he stops, isn't able to get his feet set, and puts this ball into the air at the back of the end zone to this corner route to avoid a sack and eating this contact. The receiver makes the adjustment, makes the catch, and scores a touchdown. This play was absolutely incredible from Drake Maye. Absolutely incredible. Now on this next play, I want to show his ability to climb the pocket. He's going to feel this pressure off of his right edge. He's going to dip his shoulder, climb the pocket, keep his eyes upfield, sets his feet, and delivers a laser downfield with incredible, outstanding accuracy, and probably should have been caught for the touchdown. But once again, it was dropped. Something that's becoming a little bit of a theme through this film breakdown. But this was a perfect example of Maye's improved pocket presence and movement skills within the pocket. The next thing that I want to talk about kind of builds off that first play, and it's Maye's willingness to eat some heavy, and I do mean heavy, contact to deliver balls downfield. His willingness to stand tall in the pocket, take rib shots or get thrown to the ground, and make throws is something that not many quarterbacks are willing to do and are actually rather skittish of. Not Maye though. He does not shy away from contact when following through on his throws. This dude is a tough cat, and you gotta love to see it. However, what you do not love to see is when your quarterback stands tall in the pocket, takes a rib shot like this, and your receiver drops the ball. Like I said, this was a trend watching Drake Maye's film back. Drops were consistent from game to game, and it hurts to see it happen on a play like this, where dude is standing tall in the pocket, taking a rib shot like this, trying to make a play, and you catch a case of the Butterfingers? Come on, man, we're better than this. Now that I think that I got my point across very clearly, let's move on to the last piece of his skill set that I want to talk about, and that's his playmaking ability, his creativity, and his rushing ability. At least from my point of view, I don't think that these aspects of his game get talked about nearly enough. Drake Maye has shown the ability to run around behind the line of scrimmage, to create time, make spectacular throws downfield, and a lot of this is because his team basically completely relied on him to move the ball. They lived and died by Drake last season. He also has great creativity outside of the structure of the offense, where I've seen him on multiple occasions at the end of a play find a running back on a little shovel pass, keeping the play alive when the defense thinks that they got hands on him and the play's over. Imagine how demoralizing that must be for a defense to think that you got the guy down, and then all of a sudden he just pitches it to his running back, and you're like, oh great, now we got to go tackle his running back. But this is the playmaking that he brings to the table. Now I want to get into the rushing ability that he brings to the table, because I also don't feel like his rushing ability gets talked about nearly enough. Drake May comes from a family of athletes. Pretty much everyone in his family was a high-level college athlete at some point in their time, and Drake is no exception. He was actually an Alabama commit before he changed his mind, decommitting to Alabama in March of 2020, and then committed to North Carolina, where his family played their college careers out. Now, back to his rushing ability. Drake May has better movement skills, vision, speed, contact balance, and elusiveness than a 6'4", 223-pound quarterback is supposed to have. This guy is a smooth mover in space, and he has the ability to make defenders miss. He has good speed and long strides to eat up chunks of grass as a runner and create long gains on the ground. He's a tough runner who does not shy away from contact and is willing to lower his shoulder into contact to fight for extra yards, or he's even been seen trying to hurdle guys for extra yards. This guy is a big-time asset as a runner. He can be deployed as a designed runner, he can be deployed in the red zone as a runner, or he can use his legs as a last resort when plays break down or he escapes the pocket. I think his level of athleticism has been overlooked, and I really don't want it to be lost in the shuffle of this. So that was the last trait that I wanted to talk about. So let's wrap this video up and get out of here. At the end of the day, Drake May is a gifted quarterback prospect that in many other draft classes would be the quarterback one. But unfortunately for him, he's in the same class as Caleb Williams, and so that's not going to be the case. I've heard so much negative come out about Drake May in the past couple weeks, though, and I almost feel like it's made him underrated at this point, and it's honestly crazy. Yeah, he's not a perfect prospect. The overall accuracy consistency is a little bit too up and down. His processing and decision making can be hit or miss. His footwork and release can be refined, and the boneheaded turnovers need to be eliminated from his game. But those are all correctable issues, and it's not that he can't do it, it's just that the consistency behind it needs to improve. So let's not forget about the size, the athleticism, the arm talent, and the flashes of brilliance that were there on tape. But maybe most importantly, let's not forget the context to this situation. Drake May was pretty much told, hey man, this offense is going to live and die by you. We're only going to be able to go as far as you can carry us. His best receiver was Tez Walker, and he wasn't even available for majority of the season, which is much different than the supporting cast that he had in 2022, most notably using Josh Downs to the NFL. For my money, I'm comfortably taking him as the quarterback 2 in this class and handing him over to my coaching staff and trusting that they will get Drake May to where he needs to be to bring out the best of him. If I am the Washington Commanders, I am filling that card out today, and I'm setting it aside for late April and sending it up to the commissioner with confidence and not looking back. The player Drake May reminds me of most, and my player comp for him is current Jacksonville Jaguars franchise quarterback Trevor Lawrence, and I see a lot of parallels between the two, and I can see a very similar career arc for those two as well. But that's all I have for this one. I know Drake May has been a little bit of a hot topic in the recent time, so some people love him. Some people don't see the hype. So let me know what you think in the comments below and where you stand. I'd love to hear what the community thinks of him right now. So if you liked this video, please consider giving it a like. And if you want more NFL content or 2024 NFL draft content, subscribe to the channel because we got more videos just like this coming up leading up to the draft. And we're also going to have some on draft fits afterwards. So that's all I got for today. But keep in touch. We'll be posting more videos soon. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.